je savais comme Nicolas. Nicolas!
C'est cool. Nirvana, c'est super cool.
It involves a lot of dynamic shifts in the...
You might touch my 3 hours. Shut up! Don't do that.
Recently, I posted a video where I ranked every single Strokes song. It was a pretty good video. One thing lacking though was my commentary. I didn't include it as the video was too long and I reckon it would take away from the overall video. So I'm here to talk about my top 10 Strokes songs. If you've already seen my Strokes ranking video, please still watch this one. I promise it's worth your time. And if you haven't, I'll link that video in the description. Remember, my top 10 list is my top 10 list, meaning it's my opinion. So, without any further ado, let's get on with the ranking, shall we? Straight away, this song greets us with a calm, nostalgic guitar riff that instantly sets the mood. It's subtle but emotionally rich, laying the groundwork for what's about to come. Then, the drums kick in, punchy and powerful, giving the track that signature Strokes energy. And almost immediately, Julian Casablancas' raw and powerful vocals enter the mix. I didn't take no shortcuts. His voice sort of demands attention with a sense of urgency and vulnerability. One of my favourite elements in this song is the way the guitars play those briefly strummed chords that follow each of Julian's lines in the verse. It gives a really good rhythmic feel to the song, almost like it's responding to the lyrics. Then comes what I think is one of the best choruses the Strokes have ever written. There's the perfect, simple build-up of these just chords making it seem to scratch the tension, hinting about what's to come. And when the chorus hits, Julian lets go, pouring his heart and soul into the lyrics. Instrumentally, Nick keeps things relatively simple, playing a restrained but effective melody on the guitar. Meanwhile, Albert Hammond Jr. adds a burst of energy with his rapid strumming on a high-pitched chords, creating a contrast that keeps the sound dynamic. Nick's solo, or in other words the instrumental, kind of stays true to the song's vibe. It's expressive and it doesn't try to show off, it just fits perfectly. As the song comes to a close, Julian sounds almost frustrated, like he's reached a breaking point. His delivery in those final words carried so much emotion. As soon as this song begins, you're hit with some of the best guitar work the Strokes have ever done. That opening riff is so punchy, melodic, and so catchy. Also, the drums locked in perfectly with the guitar, matching its energy, helping it build the vibrant electric atmosphere. The moment Julian opens his mouth, everything clicks into place as the band comes together seamlessly. Nick on guitar and Nikolai on bass are laying down an irresistibly groovy rhythm, whilst Albert Hammond Jr. locks it all together with short, snappy chords. The chorus is where this song really takes off. It's like stepping into a portal into some sort of magical world. The guitars and drums start playing this upbeat, bouncy rhythm that's impossible not to move to, while Julian gives off one of his most passionate vocal performances. His voice in the second half of the chorus is especially powerful and majestic, and you can't help but sing along. Then just when you think the song can't get any better, Nick takes the centre stage with a lengthy, beautiful solo that elevates everything. The track then wraps it up by returning to that insanely catchy chorus before closing out with a shortened version of the opening riff. The drums kick in, and almost instantly, one of the most iconic and nostalgic riffs in the Strokes catalogue begins to play. It's simple yet unforgettable. As the second guitar and Julian's vocals join in, the atmosphere is set, laid back, emotional and effortlessly cool. The way all the elements blend together creates this incredible sense of space and feeling. Someday is one of this band's strongest lyrical songs. Here are some of my favourite lines. You got to admit, those are some pretty heavy lines coming from a 23-year-old. They hit hard because they're honest and reflective. Another standout moment is the instrumental break. It starts off with just the drums and the bass, steady and driving, then slowly builds up as the other instruments join back in. It's not flashy, but it's perfectly timed and incredibly effective. The song ends beautifully. Julian delivers his final lines, the guitar chords are abruptly cut off, and the drums land one last satisfying punch. Right from the start, both guitars fire off 4 quick chords before the song fully kicks in. Julian's vocals enter with that laid-back urgency, leading us into a pre-chorus where the bass is simple but incredibly effective. Then we're on to the second verse where the guitars play this super funky riff, each in different octaves. The chorus follows, and while the lyrics are super repetitive, Julian's melody makes it work. The solo is a highlight for me. It starts with some simple notes and shifts into fast chord strumming, followed by an intense, minimal build-up that creates real tension. What comes next after this build-up is one of my favourite Julian moments. He just screams with pure emotion. I love it, it's just so raw and powerful. The song then circles back, repeating the verse-chorus structure, and ends exactly how it began. The drums kick off the song, sounding like they were made on a drum machine, tight and compressed to perfection. Then that nostalgic riff drops in, instantly pulling you in. Like a lot of the Strokes songs, Julian's vocals are the standout, slightly distorted, giving that unmistakable edge. The chorus hits in a super catchy but strangely personal way, like it's speaking directly to you. The whole thing has this nostalgic vibe that just hits, even if you've never heard it before. And then it ends, suddenly, casually, like it doesn't even need a big finish. Just done. Perfect. Now this video is a lot longer than I'd thought it would be, so I think it's an appropriate time for my very first Airbuds break. Now, if you don't know what Airbuds is, it's basically a social media app for your music listening. And at the end of every week it gives you a recap, kind of like a mini Spotify Wrapped. My top 5 tracks of the week were The End Has No End, Hard to Explain, Selfless, Why Are Sundays So Depressing, and Call It Fate, Call It Karma. All of them songs were Strokes songs, explaining why The Strokes was my number 1 artist of that week. Following behind is Radiohead at number 2 and 21 Pilots at number 3. So, I listened to 4,629 minutes of music, 97 different artists, and 1,211 different songs. So that was my Airbuds recap. Let me know if you want to see more of that in future videos, and enjoy the second half of the video. I'll try and make it a bit shorter. This was the very first Strokes song I ever heard, and I'm glad it was. It does feel different from their usual classics. The guitar tone is cleaner, the vocals are a bit less distorted, but it still sounds incredible. The chorus is super catchy and upbeat, with Julian's voice full of emotion and the guitars shining throughout. The real standout though is the bridge. It gives the song a perfect pause before launching back into the final chorus with even more energy.
You did it alone, you did it for fun, you did it for everyone who's on the run. You're not just a friend, you'll be born again. We'll be in this race until the very end.
The song kicks off with that shining bass line, and then comes one of the most iconic riffs the Strokes have ever written. Julian comes in delivering his lines with that perfect mix of intensity and careless attitude.
He seemed impressed by the way you came in. Tell us a story, I know you're not boring.
The chorus is huge. Nick's riff starts it, Nikolai's bass gets super groovy, and Albert throws in this killer solo-like riff. Julian screams his heart out, while Fab hits the drums hard and heavy. And the solo after that is amazing. The second verse keeps the energy with Julian's voice practically shouting every word, and the ending is perfect, just bass and drums, closing it out the same way it began. This is easily one of the most unique Strokes songs. The instrumentation is haunting and melancholic. and Julian's soft voice fits in perfectly.
Close the door, not all the way.
And then the chorus hits, and his voice is amazing. The first time I heard it, I honestly thought it was a woman singing. It's emotional, dreamy, and it almost feels like a jazzy track from the 30s or 40s. It's nothing like what the Strokes usually do, or what I usually listen to, but it just works. The song then fades out with the same haunting energy it started with. The song opens with a palm muted guitar and a tight drum beat. Then it drops into my favourite Strokes riff of all time. Julian's vocals sound so joyful and emotional. And the chorus just lifts everything even higher. The chord progression between both guitars and the bass is perfect, with some great drum fills layered in. Julian really sings his heart out.
Get up! Gotta see the sunshine. I'll be waiting for you, baby. 'Cause I'm through.
The second half of the chorus stands out too, especially with Nick's slick guitar licks.
Sit me down. Shut me up. I'll calm down. And I'll get on with you.
Then it all comes full circle, ending with that muted guitar and Julian's voice fading out.
Shut me up. Shut me up. And I'll get out of it. There's no time to feel the breeze. Too many varieties.
The modern age is pure perfection from start to finish. It kicks off with those short, snappy, isolated chords that instantly grab your attention. Then the guitars lock into this incredibly nostalgic progression that both feels fresh and familiar. Julian's vocals on this track are amazing, soft, slightly distorted and drenched in emotion, and his delivery is so soothing.
Here's where we begin this little story a long time ago.
Then the chorus hits. It's absolutely breathtaking the way the chord progression lifts and opens up, while Julian's voice soars and is generally spine tingling.
Just in time, steady for a while, rolling in the ocean, trying to catch her eye.
And that solo, it's hands down my favourite solo in any Strokes song. Then Julian screams back into the verse and it's electric, like the whole song is charging forward with new intensity. The pre-chorus and chorus come back around and it's still as perfect as the first time. Then the track wraps things up with the instruments fading out in this beautiful way. And that's why it's my favourite Strokes song. It gets better every time I hear it somehow, and the structure and the tone and the emotion is perfect. It's truly one of my favourite songs of all time, and is obviously my favourite Strokes song of all time. Well, yeah, that's the end of the video. I just ranked my top 10 Strokes songs. This video was a lot longer than I wanted it to be, and I didn't edit it in the way I additionally planned to, but, you know, I went with the flow. It took a while for this video to come out, mainly because I kind of forgot about it. Don't really know how that happened, but if you haven't watched me rank every single Strokes song, I'll leave that in the description down below. And have a good day, and goodbye.